It's all over but the shouting, and that will resume tomorrow at noon.
And in sports, the Pirates and their fans continue to bask in the glow of the World Championship.
I'm Andrea Wood with Stan Savrin. Newswatch is next.
This is TV 53's Newswatch, Pittsburgh's most complete primetime television newscast, with Andrea Wood and Stan Savrin.
Good evening. Tomorrow is World Champion Pittsburgh Pirates Day in the Commonwealth, and tomorrow afternoon, Pittsburghers will welcome back the champs with a downtown celebration. In issuing the proclamation honoring the Buccos, Governor Thornburg praised several individual players, including Willie Stargell, who the governor called the Paul Bunyan of the Steel City. Early this morning, at least 118 overly enthusiastic persons were arrested during the downtown victory celebration. Most of the arrests were for intoxication and vandalism, but 3 persons were picked up on burglary charges, and 2 policemen were injured seriously while trying to maintain the order. Tomorrow, most of Allegheny County's school students could be back in class. Late this afternoon, striking West Jefferson Hills teachers were ordered back to their jobs tomorrow, and tonight we're told most of those teachers will obey the judge's mandate. Today in the Bethel Park School District, classes were held for the first time since last June. Teachers were ordered back to class yesterday. Meantime, tonight in the Chartiers-Houston District, talks are continuing in an effort to end that teacher's walkout. Earlier this week, the Chartiers-Houston District also won a back-to-work order, which teachers have continued to defy. 2 dams in western Pennsylvania have been found unsafe and in need of immediate repairs. The Jeannette Dam in Westmoreland County and the Lake Latonka Dam in Mercer County were found inadequate during a 2-year inspection program by the Environmental Resources Department. Some 100 other dams throughout the Commonwealth were also found to be in varying states of disrepair. Governor Thornburg thinks it's time to lift what he calls the unfair burden of taxes on senior citizens and homeowners with low and fixed incomes. So today, Thornburg appointed a 17-member commission to investigate the problem. Dr. Richard Seiert, president of Carnegie Mellon University, will chair the commission, which has until early 1981 to suggest ways to improve the state's tax structure. Sugar sold in Pennsylvania and neighboring states under the AMP and Acme Super Saver brand names has been recalled because the 5-pound bags may contain glass. The Amstar Corporation says so far, no ill effects from the sugar have been reported. 2 Newcastle doctors and their office manager have been charged with defrauding the state Medicaid program of close to $123,000. Named in the charges are Dr. Amelito Acquaviva, Dr. Cho Ning Yu, and Diane Esposito. Governor Thornburg says he'll swear into office all those persons which the Senate has refused to confirm within 25 days of their nomination. Senate Majority Leader Edward Zamprelli of Clareton says the governor was offered a deal centered on the nomination of Pittsburgh Republican Joseph Cassetti to the PUC, but according to Thornburg, he has not accepted any deals. And Pennsylvania's public utilities cannot turn off the heat this winter without the approval of the Public Service Commission. Today, the PUC voted to renew curbs on the termination of utility services during the coming winter months. Only telephone service was exempted from today's ruling. Metropolitan Edison has cleared another hurdle in its attempt to begin cleaning and processing radioactive water at the 3 Mile Island nuclear power plant. The 3rd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals today denied a request by an anti-nuclear group for an injunction to stop the cleanup. Lengthy appeals are expected. State House Minority Leader Kaylee Roy Orvis of Pittsburgh doesn't think applications for residency at an apartment complex being named after him should be made available at the downtown Hyatt House. Orvis says by private agreement, applications were to be placed solely at the city's Hill House. According to Orvis, bureaucrats are hoping to promote racial integration of the complex, but Orvis says since the Hyatt House is so close to the Hill House, their efforts are misguided. I think today we could give a quiz to Pittsburgh residents on the lyrics of We Are Family, and everybody would pass the test. I mean, we have heard that song quite a lot today. Either that or they lose their lunch. I mean, enough of that song. I think I know why the people left the governor's cabinet. They were tired of the song? No, Paul Bunyan. Of the Steel City. That was his quote. The Paul Bunyan of the Steel City. I have never seen Willie Stargell walk anywhere with an ox. So I don't know. I don't quite agree with that analogy, but okay for you, Governor. Well, there was not the customary wild dancing in the streets, but Pirate fans all over the tri-state could feel the emotion as their Buccos brought home the baseball championship to Pittsburgh.
There were heroes galore to be sure, but the 1979 series will be remembered as Willie Stargell's series. The Pirate captain came up big when he was needed the most, kind of a continuation of what he had done for this ball club all season long. The city plans a celebration tomorrow at noon at Market Square. Paul Bunyan, he's not the great ball player he is. The Philadelphia Phillies, who now have to dethrone the Pirates in the National League East, hired Dallas Green as their new manager today. Green managed the Phillies for the last 6 weeks of last season after the firing of Danny Ozark. The Toronto Blue Jays today reached inside their organization to come up with a new manager to replace Roy Hartsfield. He's Bobby Maddock. He had been serving as the club's coordinator of instruction. Well, just as Chuck Noll promised, the Steelers went back to the basics today as they began preparations for Monday night's encounter with Denver. Noll stressed man-on-man fundamentals during today's workout. With the exception of Robin Cole, who will be out again in this ball game, everybody was in full pads. That included Lynn Swann and Ron Johnson, who are expected to return on Monday night, and the Steelers are a 7.5-point favorite over the Broncos. The National Football League's leading rusher may not play on Sunday. Earl Campbell, who has 771 yards, has a thigh injury. He's listed as questionable for Sunday's game when Houston visits the Kingdome to play the Seattle Seahawks. Roy Girella's second chance this season has come to an end. The former Steeler place kicker was released by the San Diego Chargers after he went 0 for 7 in field goal attempts. He was replaced by Mike Wood, recently cut by the St. Louis Cardinals. The Penguins, after seeing their record blemish for the first time of the season last night, rest up for the invasion of the always troublesome Washington Capitals at the arena on Saturday night. Then on Sunday night, it's TV 53's first telecast of the season when the Pens travel to Madison Square Garden to play the New York Rangers. Mike Lang will handle the play-by-play, and I'll be with you in between periods. Our broadcast time Sunday night is 7:30, the Penguins versus the Rangers. In the National Hockey League tonight schedule, the New York Rangers defeated the Vancouver Canucks at the Garden tonight 6-3. The New York Islanders, a loser to the Boston Bruins. Bruins 3, the Islanders 2. Elsewhere, the Philadelphia Flyers beat up on the Atlanta Flames 6-2. And in the second period, it's Quebec leading the Colorado Rockies 1-0. They're going to have to wait a while before they see if Irvin Magic Johnson is going to be the great star in the NBA. They thought he would. The Los Angeles Lakers' #1 draft choice has a torn knee ligament. He'll be out at least 6 weeks. In the National Basketball Association, first of all, no score in on this game, Indiana and Atlanta. Cleveland, in a high-scoring affair, defeated the San Antonio Spurs 141-134, and Detroit beat the New York Knicks 129-115. All the other games tonight out on the coast. And Andrea, one final program note. This Saturday afternoon at 4:30, it's Arkansas and Texas. Great NCAA football game. Texas ranked #2, Arkansas #10, and this will go a long way to deciding the Southwest Conference Championship. Great football game here on 53.
Here. Okay, thank you, Stan. In other news tonight, a first-stage air pollution alert is in effect in the North Braddock area. A spokesman for the Allegheny County Health Department says air quality is very unhealthy. At 2 p.m., the pollutant standard index was 223. Industrial sources have been ordered to reduce emissions. The elderly and persons with heart and lung disease are urged to stay at home. That alert forecast is expected to end on Friday. Tonight, the National Weather Service is calling for patchy fog for metropolitan Pittsburgh, a low in the 50s. Tomorrow, it will be partly sunny with showers developing. Our high should exceed 70. Finally, tonight, police in Fort Lauderdale, Florida have asked area residents to watch where they walk. It seems that 43 tarantulas, 10 boa constrictors, and other snakes have been stolen from a wildlife warehouse. Today, detectives drew lots to see who would handle that investigation.
Watch out for the ox.
That's Paul Bunyan of the Steel City. That's Newswatch. Good night.
This has been TV 53's Newswatch, Pittsburgh's most complete primetime television newscast, with Andrea Wood and Stan Savrin.